Boom, back in the room, and as if by magic, the parts fairy has been, oops. Second-hand gloves, because I can't be asked to go and get another packet out. Right, so parts fairy, what's we been? So if you remember out with the old, we got two bearings that we've already replaced. We've got a GPX, GXP bottom bracket. Got a new one of them. It's exactly the same. Same serial number as well. It's not red for some weird reason, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. I think I'll match the bike better. Boom! We've got a set of chainring bolts to replace the 3 that were knackered. There was one I had to drill out and 2 that are exceptionally corroded, and I've tried to free them up and I couldn't. They were still very stiff and sticky, so even if I put some anti-seize on, they would probably just grind it out the way. But unfortunately, I ordered them, what were told to be the correct parts, and it turns out there's only 4 of. And they're possibly singles as well, so I've ordered another set. So what we'll do is we'll assemble it with them, we'll do it, put it all back on camera, get it all set up, and then I'll switch them out. I only need I only need 3 of them, to be honest. So I have managed to get a couple out of my spare parts bin, but I've only managed to get 4 good ones. So I think we've got 2 of the originals, 2 I found that were off an SRAM chainring that I've got down there. The ones that are in there are some aftermarket ones, which I bought new, but even they've corroded, and I put molly slip on them, which is why you don't buy the cheap shit ones. So I've got to order a set for that anyway, so I've ordered 2 sets to come in. We'll put these back into stock anyway. We'll just keep hold of them. They were quite expensive because they're genuine SRAM, but they will do for spares, so we'll see what we can do with that. Right, I can hear a little dog scratching at the door, so we'll cut there and I'll get set up over there. Right, so I think the first thing we'll do to get some of these parts out of the way is we will do the tyres, get the cassette out of the way, and then the wheels are done. They can just go straight on the bike. So let's get rid of the old crap. That's what's left of the one I had to drill out. That was a real pig, because as soon as you start biting into it, it just starts spinning, and then you've got to be careful that it's not spinning and damaging the carbon, because it's carbon on that one. So I had to put an Allen key up the back of it through the bottom of the table on the pillar drill, because I had to use a pillar drill to make sure it was level, and I drilled through with a bolt that was actually a fraction narrower than the actual hole within the chainring that we were going through, which is the same diameter as that. So I've got to be really careful, make sure it's straight down. And once I got past the first section, basically because I'm drilling out to the width of it, the top ring just came off, and then I just had to give it a quick tap to knock it through. So all in all, not too bad, but yeah, I mean that's corroded really bad, and that's a genuine SRAM one. So just shows, put some. They come with green Loctite to stop them from undoing, or thread locker. But to be honest, that's not your problem. You can get enough torque on them anyway, because there's a natural stretch, because they're usually aluminium. So you can get enough stretch on them anyway to hold them. What you're more bothered about is the buggers corroding, because if they're corroded in there, you're knackered. Now, I've only just recently started checking those as a matter of course, because we've had a couple where somebody's asked me to swap the chainring out, and it's something they're going to be doing regularly throughout a season, depending on what they're riding, whether they're riding flat or hilly, and they've got 2 sets of chainrings, and it's a similar spider to this, and I do the same thing as well. But with most of the bikes that I do it on, it's the Propel mainly. It's whether I'm running flat on that, and I'll put the 53 on as opposed to the 50. But the Shimano's slightly different. The Shimano has a screw thread in the actual crank arm, and you screw through to it, which actually potentially is worse. But the bolts, the bit that usually causes the problem is the bit that's the threaded bit on the crank arm. So I'm not too worried about that, and I anti-seize mine. But it's something I've started doing. And there's another YouTuber that does this kind of stuff, and he regularly takes these bolts out and checks them. So same with the ones behind there. That's something I do not that often, but I'm going to start doing it more often now, because we have had a couple of instances where we've been close to actually either damaging the frame or damaging the bolt that runs through there, which, to be honest, once you've bought one of them, you might as well buy a second-hand brake lever. So there we go. Anyway, stop waffling, let's get the tyres up. Let's do front wheel first. So they're not too bad. There definitely wasn't a thing, and they are worn. The owner said, yeah, you want some swapping. So I was going to buy some more the same as this, and then I remembered that somebody donated a brand new set of Bontrager tyres, and Bontrager are actually pretty good. I've never actually run these tyres before. I was given them. They are brand new. They're off a brand new Trek, so they've never been used. They are folding as well, so there's probably, I'd guess, about 30-40 quid's worth of tyre there each. So they don't owe me anything. I don't know what I'll charge Mick for them. So all we need to do is stick them on. Hopefully we'll be able to reuse the inner tube, because it does look like it's I haven't got any of those in. It is a removable core as well, and it's had the tape put round it so it doesn't damage the tyre. So I suspect that's got what that's got on it is an extender. So it's a standard removable core inner tube, but with an extender on it. That's seen some action, that one. I hope Tuppers didn't do that one. She was putting it in a car. So it was the owner's wife that dropped the wheel off. Right, I need to find a tyre lever. It's here. So we'll use this one opposed to the Glide, because I think this one will do less damage to stickers and things. You getting a good view of this? Probably not. Right, let's get it over. I don't think these are tubeless ready. I suspect they're before tubeless. No, might not be, they're tubeless. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. We're very keen to come off. Right. That's it. Come on, out you come. There we go. Might just have to I think we might be interested to see what's under there. I'm going to redo this because it's just come off a bit. Now, question is it an extender or not? I think it is. I don't think that's could be wrong. Actually, I can't feel a ridge. Right, let me just put that down there. We can find a knife. Hopefully we should have some black tape kicking around. No, it's not. They are one. I thought they'd had an extender on, but no, they are genuinely a thing. So we'll just wrap a bit of this round. Get it out of there. I can fast forward a lot of this, to be honest. You don't want to watch me putting a tyre on. Some people might. I think they were folding as well. Right, let's just quickly that's not going very well. Stop being awkward. Oops, I've just cut the end of my glove. That's it. I've got a horrible suspicion that that might be a little bit too fat now. Let's just give it a quick test run through there. Yep, alright. A little bit too much tape. I'm going to go for a different way of doing this. Alright. Actually, in hindsight, what probably would have been better was a bit of shrink wrap. I don't want to just get a pair of scissors, it would be so much easier. That's better. Who'd have thunk it? Using a pair of scissors. Right, let's just see if that goes through. No. So even that's too long. I'll see these gloves coming off in a minute. Yep, you'll do. Right. What a faff, what a faff, what a faff. There we go. Finally, right. Inner tube there. Don't think there's a direction of travel on these. Going to prove me wrong now. Oh, there might be actually. Check when I get it over, and then we'll find out it's on the wrong side and we'll have to move it again. But we do it right because we do it twice. Right, let's just make sure that's in the right place. Where's my little stickers and everything gone? Yep, right. Inflate to, nothing round there, nothing round there, nothing round there. Nothing around there. Nothing on there. Nope, they are universal. That's good news. Right. We are going to line the writing up because everybody keeps complaining when I don't do it. It doesn't bother me. but how do you know where the valve is? I look for the valve. Because you know what? Looking for the writing is exactly the same as looking for the valve. Right, let's just put a quick squirt of air in here. Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I don't know. I want to know. Listen to a great deal to Gav. I won't listen to a great deal anything Gav says to you. Gav's only contribution to passing the eggs was it? Sean just did that. He's demonstrating his session plan when he knackered his leg in. That was his own bloody stupid fault. Because he can't tell Sean Rogers everything. He can't tell Sean Rogers everything. Tuck it in. I reckon I might be able to handball this in. Yes, who needs a tire lever? Right, I'll quickly stick some air in this and then hopefully it all runs true. Oh, nice pop. And another one. Hearing lots of pops, so hopefully it's dropped in all the way around. Perfect. Rightio. One valve cap. Nicely. That's that one done. Right, we'll put you on we'll definitely be on a time lapse for this one. Right, back into normal vision. Right, let's just put a bit on here, bit of red grease, just to help the cassette slip on. Again, it's not for any de-frictioning, it's more to try and keep muck from getting into it. There's probably a counter argument that you're providing a grease surface for the muck. Any muck that does get into rubber's a cutting paste, but most of the videos I've seen and most of the bikes I've had, it's quite obvious that they have been greased. What's the fat one gone? Is that it there? That's it there. Right. Fat one. That's it, fat one. Flip that over. Fat one. And a collar on the fat one. Remember, if it doesn't fit, you've probably got it on the wrong way round. And another collar. Next biggest one. That one. And a spacer. Next biggest one. Oh, that's right. Yep. And then another spacer. Thought we lost one then. Last one for a spacer. And a non-spacer one. And the final 12 tooth, because it's a T12, not a T11. And then this, and we've got to be careful with this because we think it might have been cross-threaded in the past. What we will do is just put a bit of something to help it there. So remember, roll it back until you feel it click. I think that was it. No, maybe not. There we go. That's it. Remember, just a quick check. That's all good. Don't forget new bearings, so it will be a little bit tighter than normal. Favourite tools. Yeah, the big one. And the adapter. So we're going, don't use your ratchet, say it every time, and I see people doing it, even some fairly professional. Just check I've got the 40, yep, that's okay. That's it. All good. You get back in there. Give me that back. Right, back in the room. Apparently the card ran out of space and I hadn't realised. So we just we've got the tyres on now. I don't know how much of that you got, and we started reassembling this. I've just been and checked because I think these were put on the wrong way round. The nut. The bolt was definitely coming through from the back, and what effectively is the nut was on the front, and that's not right. So we're going to put them on this way round, which I've put the oh, it's there. Could be wrong. Could just be going nuts. Right, they're together. Another 2, and then we'll just take one of those slightly shorter ones out. I know what I forgot to do. We're supposed to be putting some molly slip on these. Stop whimpering, dog. You wanted to come in. A little Spanishy watery dog is whimpering and whining. It's generally what he does. If you've ever seen Dom's videos, I think his Spanish water dog's the same. His is called Wendy. Ours is called Ricky. You alright, Ricky? He's not very well. He's getting old. He's got a few issues, hasn't you, mate? Just to give that a quick wipe off afterwards. So that's 2 done. That one doesn't want to come off. Let's do this one instead then. Guess what? That one doesn't want to come off. Oh, it's coming. Here she comes. I'm not going to get very far with that, or that. Completely one size out for both. That's it. Right, they're all in loose. We will just crack off one of these. Stick it in. That's the might as well molly slip these just in case. You never know. Might end up staying in. Yeah. Right. So I believe these want to be about 5 Newton meters, which on a German one is known as Guttentite. That's it. Right. So we'll grab you and we'll grab you and we'll start round there. That's another thing you see people doing these up way too tight. I will just check that 5, because I've just sneaky suspicion it might be 12 or 15. Usually 5's kind of where these things normally end up. Can't remember if we've done this one or not. Yep, that one's done. Alright then, we just pause here again. Pause. 7 to 8, so we do need to go up a little bit. So let's start again here. You can tell I don't do many of these. That's it. Right, get a cloth and we'll give that one a quick wipe down. Come on Ricky, out from under my feet, mate. I've just degreased all this because obviously we're going to be running an oiled, a waxed chain on it, so that's it, that's done. Another sub-assembly out of the way. I'll just put that there with that bit, and now we can move round to the other side. Right, let's move on to this now. Somebody's revving and backfiring a motorbike, and my youngest is getting all paranoid about Bear, who's currently sat outside. Right, we had no spacers on before. Just be careful you don't lose that, and that goes in the right way round. So it's right into the outside. You should see the metal ring there. We don't have a preload adjuster on the crank arm on this one. So just be mindful of that. One of these will say drive side, or it will be yeah, that says drive side. Drive side's on the other side. Bit of molly slip. Some people just use normal grease for this, but I think we've got dissimilar metals. Like I said, I think that frame's titanium, so I suspect this might be stainless steel or titanium as well, but we'll not take any risks. Right. So we're just going to shove this one in first. I need an adapter, which I have got here, and a plastic bag. Right, would you like to come around here? Manual. Right, so plastic bag over the top. So we try and limit any damage we're going to do to the thing. Just make sure you keep it out of the threads. To be honest, shouldn't need that. I think what they say is, and what I absolutely agree with, is you should be hand turning these in. No reason to suggest that this is going to be an issue. We did clean it out, but there's still a little bit of grit in there. But we'll just let it roll through. We're still doing it with just hand tension, and a pair of flipping gloves on as well. So the plastic bag just stops you chowing into the surface of the thing. I'm not sure how much it actually works in reality, but I've seen a few people doing this now. There we go. You just spent 30 odd quid or whatever it was on a new bottom bracket. You don't want your bike shop making a mess of it before you've even seen it yourself. Right, oops, we don't put the, I need to get some more of this. I might get some of the nickel and lithium stuff as well, because so this is the left hand side, so it's the opposite way round on the threads, so it's a right hand thread, and we can't get it to bite. Either that or I'm hitting the it's interesting. I think we're hitting the I don't like how tight that is. I think we're just going to clean that out a bit more. Yeah, that took a couple of run-ins. I think this one's just a tad fatter than the other one, because the other one's obviously been in and out a couple of times. Like I said, I think it's been quite well serviced, and it was just snagging a bit. Weirdly though, this one was fine. I was just absolutely paranoid we didn't have a cross thread situation going on. I think what I've done is I've just picked up a bit of muck that was still in the thread, and it was just chowing it round, so I've really given it a good clean. I mean, you can see that one goes in hand tight, no problem at all. We're back in the room. Yes, we are. Right, let's get this one done up. Don't know if I've got a T-bar with this. Probably not. Alright, it's going to be a bit of a pisser. What are we going to use? I'm not going to get that out just yet. Let's have a look what we've got down here. No, nothing. I appear to have lost my big wrench. Where have I put that? Mark spends 5 hours looking for tools again that he had 2 minutes ago in his hand. Oh, I can see it. Yeah, we're definitely good. It's just a bit tight. I'd know by now if we had problems. Doesn't want to be tight, not even, don't care even if it says it's got a torque setting on it. We're not doing it uptight. There's absolutely no reason. Snug. So less than the force you would normally use for doing up a door handle. That's it. So it's probably, in reality, it's about 5 Newton meters. I don't care if they don't say that on there. It's you do not want them tight. There's absolutely no reason. If they come undone, your crank's not going to fall off. It's just going to back out into the crank. Oh, we'll do those. We'll shift that dog hair out of the way. We don't need no dog hairs. Right, see if I can encourage some more grease up into the gun, because we appear to be all at the bottom. One thing I will do though before we go any further, because I won't be able to reach this in a minute, just get all the copper slip off the way. And in one. So this just wants a bit of grease that's just going to end up round there, a bit of grease that's going to end up on there. It's just to aid the bonding for the... So again, it's not for bearing surfaces, this is just to help it to get into the bearing. I got my finger stuck. So these are a weird one, they have a different size bearing on one side to what they do on the other. Oh, that's nice. Right. Bit of grease. Need my big juicy one now, with the 8mm. Oops. That's it. So it should tell, I think it did tell you on this one. I normally do them about 40, but I think this one's a bit higher. 48 Newton meters. And it's a size 8, which is that one. I want it to 48, so let's just wang it around a bit more. So that's 50, so we need to go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, that's right, because each one of those is half a Newton, so we want to take it down 1, sorry, it's 5 Newtons. That's it. It's just on the limit of what I can hold that, to be honest. Right, we're going to spin the frame round now. I think the best way to do it is to, rather than to swing everything around like I did last time, let's do it away from the camera. There we go. Right, let's reposition you for the next. Right, so if you remember, we've got to do that. So let us. This one's going to involve a lot of swearing. I really do hate SRAM for this. Let's just cut that off. Try not to lose anything. Right. Oh no! knew they were going to do that. Yeah, the inner is integral into that. So the inner, it's this one, isn't it? You can't see this. Let me just rescue the rest of this before we lose it. I had a feeling they were going to be like that. Oh, there it is. It's going to be covered in dog hair. Right, there's going to be lots of squinting and swearing going on there, because I always have a bit of a battle with these. In fact, I think the gloves are going to come off now. Oh, I see the gloves are off. It's one way or the other, so we'll find out shortly which way it is. Right, just going to get you out of the way while I find out where the hole is. Right, don't know whether you can see that, but basically you can't shove on this because it just keeps flexing so much. So I've had to kind of finagle it round and get a tiny screwdriver in there and just flick it until eventually I could get hold of this. This is really tight. I think we're going to have some fun getting that back in again. We might end up redoing the bar tape, and it's got a nice kink in it there as well, which isn't helping. But I think what we'll do is we'll just check the diameter on that. So I don't know if you can see that, but we'll just finagle it up. No, it is 1.1. So it is the right stuff. I thought it looked a bit thick, but I think that's just where it got chewed up. There is a kink in it there, which hasn't been helping a great deal. So we will stick another one of them in anyway. It could be the inner that's absolutely knackered on it, but we've got these in stock. It won't hurt to put one in. My experience of SRAM cables to date, though, has not been brilliant. I'm not a massive fan of them. Right. Let's get that put in, and hopefully it'll go in. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath because I've had issues with these in the past. Being a right roll pain up the bum. Come on. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to de-tape this bar. Yeah, every time I've tried to do a cable swap on an SRAM, I've had to de-tape the bar. I think this is worse because it's not using traditional cables, it's using these rather funky looking things that I suspect are just using inners under there with no outer. So when I'm pushing on it, I could be just puncturing through the side of it. So I think even trying to brute force my way through is not gonna help me. Right, let me just move you out of the way, we'll de-tape. Trying to be as gentle as possible so we can reuse the tape and the finishing tape. Not the electrician's tape, but there's some very rubberized tape on the end of it, though. My experience is that it's generally not reusable. That's proper stuck on there as well, which isn't helping. I'm just going to stick that out of the way. I'll get the bars off, so we were just short of the little edge there. Well, they have got the funny metal things going all the way under. That's a surprise. I don't think we would have got it through though. I think we're just going to end up... That's weird, there's a jag wire. What the... It's no bloody wonder it won't go through. Right, so that cable's got to come up here. So here's the new cable. Of course, now the bike handlebars are in the wrong place, I can't see where I'm aiming. Come on. I thought we got it through then. Right, so that's the problem. When it gets to there, you've got to get it under there, and there's nothing there to make it go through there, because the bit you need to get it into starts there. So you've got absolutely bugger all chance of doing it. So the only way to do this is to de-tape and then feed it in yourself. So I don't know what you're like. Everything else. I love the SRAM stuff. I'm converted to it, but the cable side of SRAM, just none of it makes sense. There's no way you could do this and do a quick fix on this. I mean, you're de-taping the bars. There's nothing quick about this. At least Shimano, you could do it at the side of the road if somebody gave you another cable. Admittedly, you won't want to, but you could. What an absolute farce. Right, is that in? In now. Right, now we're going to keep shoving this through in the hopes that it pops out the other end, and then we've got to thread all these metally beady things back on again as well. God and Bennett. Oh, it's not I don't know if it is Jaguar, I don't think that does say Jaguar. I don't know what they are, never come across them before. Let's get as far through as I can, and then there we go. I think that's probably just popped out at the bottom just to be flipping awkward. Yep. Right, get you over here. You can watch the fun and games. Right, so that has to now go through it there. through there. Right, so that's downstream, so I think that goes alligator, that's what it says, alligator. So we've got a few more bits of this to shove back on again. It's assuming they want to join back up. I hope they will, or I'm going to cry. And hopefully we've got another bit there that ends up at the other end. It does look like they've all joined back together again. That's it. So what's gone wrong here? Why doesn't that... I know why. Right, feed this lot over. So yeah, and we've just got a little bit sticking out of there, which is probably about right, which should then put that on the end of there, like so. And in theory, that should be us done now. Right, just check the... Right, let's get the tape back on first before we do anything else, because then we can test the gears. So, hopefully we've not done too much damage to this. Did it do the... It did it that way. Yep, it did it that way. I'm going to need to pull that a bit tighter. It's not the way I normally do it, but it's not my bike, so we will go with the flow. No, that needs to go across a bit more. That's better. recabling and replacing it in is an absolute pig. Right, that's it. Hopefully that works. Let's just do a quick check. Yep, that looks good. So that looks about a 5. That's weird, even that was in the wrong place. Oh, it might not have been. So I think that one wants to go over, that one wants to go under. Is that right? Yes. I think that's right. Right, we'll just leave that slack like that, put a bit more torque on it. Right, just check. Right, that didn't work. That's why you check it. Seven, 8, 9, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. At least we've got movement. Anything else we can take up with the adjuster now, so that's okay. Right. Next thing is get the back wheel on, and then we need to go and free off the chain. So let's finagle this into place. Oops. Schoolboy error. Just bear with me while I go and do this in the background, because he didn't tell me about that earlier. Also just noticed we managed to get some red grease on the spokes. Shows we've been in there. Oh. That's a custom made frame because it doesn't quite fit. Well, that's good enough. Brakes need adjusting. We haven't popped them off and degreased them yet, so we'll do that now before I forget, because I did forget. I think it's a 5 if I'm right. And that one. Just keep my hand around the paintwork. That's the blocks banging on the rim rather than me banging the paintwork. Yes, I think we're right to get them out. You can see they are starting to corrode. So what we do is we just smother that up with some copper slip, and that'll stop it from getting stuck in the frame, because it does look like it's chrome. And then we'll just pop these off and just make sure we've got a bit of copper slip around there just to protect that. A bit more around there. That's all well and good, I think. So we should be able to just pop that back in now. And that's that one done, before I forget about it. Centre these up in a minute. I think we've got a problem with the front derailleur where that needed lining up, and I can see it's not lined up now. So that's supposed to be in line and it's not. Which is weird because it was the going up that had the problem. But I think we might have check where that one. Yeah, I think it just wants twisting a tad. Yeah, I think that's all it wants. It just wants a little bit of. It might have got knocked actually. Right, we'll have a play with that in a minute. Let's sort the chain out. I'm just going to go and run that off. You didn't see any of that, did you? Or did you? Yes, you were looking at that. I've just been saying that it doesn't look like that's quite lined up, but I think we've cracked. Right, I'll just run this off. So we'll feed it through. Yeah, making sure we get it on top of that flipping thing that we had the nightmare with at the beginning. It's interesting, looks like the lower stops were out on this. We will check that shortly. Oh, to my usual trick. I've got it the wrong side. There we go. I think it's time to centre up these brakes. Better. Right, I was going to see if I can find out where I put that. Found them. They were in the acid bath. Acid bath, the water bath. Ultrasonic, let's call it what it is. Right, let's see if I can get these together. You know, so I'm putting it together so it's crossed. And it's only because it's easier to get them to play ball. It's usually not easy though, because there's usually a load of wax over the link that stops you getting the buggers together. I think what happened last time is I got one side in and not the other. Is that it? Yay. Heck. The links near the end are always usually a bit stiff because it's difficult to run them off, so they'll be the ones that cause most of the problems. Right, let's stick a pedal on again whenever the pedal's gone. So it's right hand side, right hand thread, I think. That's it. Alright, it's just yeah, that definitely needs some adjustment. Don't think, oh, there is an adjuster. So it's going to sound like a bag of nails to start off with while the chain gets bedded in. Right, this is what I was saying, my starting position looks like it's, yeah, so the adjuster is not in the right place. Let's get that. So let's just try and work out who's touching what. That's the B screw, that's not that one. That's the low. That's the high, so that's the low ratio, that's the high, so this one wants to go in a bit. Right, it was a bit off, it was a bit low, which is now going to put slack back into there, so we need to take that slack out of here now. If we can, if not, we'll use the adjusters. Right, let's change. I don't actually know if that's doing anything, to be honest. Oh, there we go. Some of this could be partly down to the chain. I think I turned it the wrong way then. That's better. Right, now I think we've got a top problem on that one now, so that's now this one. Right, let's see how that fares. Turn it one notch in. Right, let's try it on the little cog. Oops. Right, before we lose that, let's cut this off. Find me a little tub of bits. Are they in here? I've seen them somewhere. Right, so we just need to stick an end on it. Bought some new ones of these. That's it, all good. Right. Just give that another tweak in, send it back up. See where the B screw is now, because I think the B screw is slightly out. The biggest ring. Yeah, I think we can get that a bit closer. Just see what happens now. That's okay. Yep, I think we can take that down a bit more. So what we're doing is we're just moving that jockey wheel closer to it. So it should mean that you get sharper gear changing. But you've just got to make sure that we don't get any clashes. for any of the ranges of the gears. Right, that's plenty far enough away. Just quickly check it up here. Quickly send it up to the top. Yeah, I think we can send that a lot closer. Oh, that's a lot better now. Yeah, the B screw is out. Just quickly check it on the big ring. Yep, plenty far enough away. Right, so let's just drop it down and we'll just see what is going on with this one. I think it just wants to come out a little bit. Trying to see what that's catching on. Yeah, that's what I thought about this. It is. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it is. It's on the front one. What is it? Oh, I see what it's rubbing on. It's actually it's the catcher. Right. What did we do with that? There it is. Just need to slacken that off a bit then. That's it. Chain's quietening down already. Lovely that. I think we're almost done. We've just got to centre. Oh, they're pretty much perfect. We've done them all right. So what we've got to do now is just so what do we got? We've got a Rourke custom made bike. I don't know what you saw of the last one. I don't know how much I've cut off. We have put a new gear cable in it because it was all starting to fray there and it had actually frayed out the other side. It's had new bearings in the free hub. We have cleaned and waxed the chain. It's had a new bottom bracket in it. We've adjusted the front mech because it was slightly off. We've adjusted the upper and lower on there and the B position on there and redone the indexing on that one. We have mully slipped the front and back brake nuts there and there. We've replaced the some of the nuts on this one. There is one of these that's got to come out and it's that one because you can feel it's slightly different. Because 3 of them are corroded, so they've been done. Brakes at the front have been done. Bearings are okay. It's had new tyres on front and back. and we've had to work out how them flipping things all work. Oh, and we've greased and checked the front headset as well, and we've realigned that so we can take that sticker off, because that says we've done that now, and all's good. I still hate the internal cable jobs on them, so we've had to redo that, so I'll have to apologise to the owner that I've had to detape his bars just to do that. Really nice bike. I cannot stress enough how nice this bike is. Not sure about these cables. They look nice on the bike, but I think the weak point is the fact that this inner runs the entire length of it, and you can see it's not brilliant. But having said that though, there are no brakes in it, so muck can't get into there. So yeah, I think, don't know what I think about that one. We know there is a slight break in it somewhere around here, so we will have to keep an eye on that, but at least you can just buy a new plastic inner thing. I think that's the same stuff we use for fishing, whether or not I can get it in black though, but that's it. So no, all good. We can send this one back and on its way. Another one for the lockdown workshop. Don't forget, please like and subscribe. Click the buttons down below. There's some other stuff up there and up there on the screen for you to click onto. Please subscribe. It does help the channel a lot. Please like if you like it, and hit dislike if you dislike it. You know, please give me feedback. Ask me any questions. Lovely bike. I cannot stress how nice this bike is. I will go around and quickly wipe off all my dirty paw prints, and I was careful not to get the molly slip on the pads when I was handling them. Yeah, so I think it's probably the most detailed bike service we've done to date, and I think it's probably where we're going to be going. Normally I just get the bikes in, usually somebody's got a problem with it, I diagnose what the problem is, check there's nothing else that needs doing at the same time, I do that and I send it back on the way. I don't do proactive maintenance on the bikes, because to be honest, they don't need them. Everything's sealed bearings, but having said that though, if I hadn't stripped the back cassette off and put it through the ultrasonic, I wouldn't have felt that the bearing had gone in the free hub. So, but I could feel that something was wrong when I took the wheel off, which I would have done anyway, so I probably would have picked it up. That one, the bottom bracket on that as well. I did pick that up beforehand. I thought it might have a bit of play in it, but once I got the chain off and I felt that running, you could hear it, it was noisy. There's no way you would have picked that up without taking the chain off. Would I normally take the chain off? No, but because Mick had said he wanted it, he wanted his chain waxing, and the chain was like brand new, and I could see that it would clean up nicely. It just made sense, and then took the chain off, and then obviously it confirmed the bottom bracket had gone. Rest of the bearings are fine. I wasn't too sure about the headset bearing, but obviously we stripped that down, had a look at it, and it was just a little bit of muck actually in the bearings, in the mating joint there, that was grating backwards and forwards. The bearings are fine, so all good. Right then, so we'll call that a day. Job's a good one, and thank you for coming along.